Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today we got a special video that I think this would be like the most perfect time to ever do this. But we're going to be doing E3 2015 predictions for Gears of War. Pete kind of gave me this idea. We were having a casual discussion. As most of you guys know, he's known as the Razored Edge online, one of my good friends. We've known each other for a long time, and he's here for an event that's going on for the weekend called Hypefestation. So he came all the way from Ireland, and he's visiting for a few days before we go to the event. And yeah, you want to tell them about like kind of our idea here?
So basically, I've had this idea for a long time to kind of logically put together predictions for this upcoming E3, because as a lot of you probably know, and for some of you that don't, E3 is it's like the biggest gaming expo of the year. It's where like all the new IPs get announced, well, for the majority anyway.
Yeah.
Get announced, and like where you see like premieres and trailers and stuff like that. So we kind of had the idea to put logical predictions, like not speculating, like it is speculation at the end of the day, but you know what I mean, like pulling something out of the sky that doesn't make sense, like putting facts that we have now together to form an opinion on maybe what might happen at this year's E3.
I think this will be fun just to see how accurate we are.
Yeah.
Just to see if we're kind of
on the ball.
Yeah. Either I have a feeling that we're gonna be pretty close. We could be completely off.
As
but
we can be.
Yeah.
We
With
talked
the
about
information.
this, and none of this sounds like impossible. None of it sounds impossible. So
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a notepad here on my monitor that my webcam's sitting on, so we're actually going to be using it as our notes. But these are going to be our 2015 E3 predictions of what you guys and girls are going to get to see at home when watching E3 in, what is it, June? June of every year. So here's our E3 predictions. Gears of War collection with Gears of War 1 remake. Also 2 and 3 included. I don't think that they would put Judgment in just because it would be...
it would hurt the game, just being honest.
Well, Marcus Phoenix, was Marcus Phoenix in
No, exactly.
Judgment?
It would be the
Yeah, so
Phoenix,
it would be the Marcus Phoenix
Yeah.
collection. So that would give them a reason not to put Judgment in the collection.
Yeah.
So that would make sense, right? And plus Judgment, we not many of us really enjoyed Judgment, just because of the lack of content and some unnecessary things that were in the game. So it would be much like the Master Chief Collection, how I didn't have Halo Reach.
Yep.
So with that would be them announcing the Gears of War collection, which would come out this year, right? And then obviously, and the reason the only reason we think that, because in our opinion, we actually think this year is too early for a Gears game, right? Like, we want to tell them about like the only reason why we think we would see a game this year, a Gears of War game.
Just it seems like enough time has passed that there would be a Gears game.
Right,
And-
but right here, this.
I know.
Okay.
Games release in that kind of cycle, but down at the bottom it says here Shinobi 602, and this is a guy that he predicted the Master Chief Collection and like Halo 2 Anniversary specifically. I think, I'm not entirely sure what it is. There is a tweet somewhere. Maybe we can put that in the video. I don't know. But basically, he has made predictions and has been accurate. And this
99% of the time.
and this is the only reason we're convinced that, like, not 100% convinced, but like we're kind of thinking that it's possible to see a Gears of War 1 remake this year, just because of this prediction and because he was so accurate with the collection. But yeah, and what also makes sense is that they also hired, as some of you may know, a community member known as SYN Strangulate. He is a QA tester, and I believe that stands for Quality Assurance.
Yeah.
And myself and Drew are both talking, and we're just kind of like, why would it make sense for them to hire somebody now if they didn't have...
this was, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, if he didn't have something to, test for them, if he didn't have something to play. So it doesn't, for Gears of War 4, it doesn't make sense to have gameplay right now, because they've only had the game for a year. Planning takes months and months and months, and like they have to, write a script for the story and all this kind of thing.
Yep.
And so it wouldn't make sense for him to be testing gameplay for Gears 4. So at this point, but he could easily be testing, Gears 1 Anniversary, like something like that, or maybe the collection or something. Like he's playing something from what I can gather. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that would be the first thing. It would obviously be a Gears of War collection that they announce at E3 that will come out at the end of this year, probably November. Like that's usually when Gears games come out for the most part. With a cinematic, we both agreed on this, that this year, regardless if we're gonna see a remake or a Gears 1 remastered at all, I'm almost positive that we're going to see at least some, 3D cinematic or something like that. No gameplay for Gears 4, but maybe something around how, if you remember the Gears of War 2 trailer, the first time they showed a Gears of War 2 trailer, it was literally just a Locust and I think it was Marcus Phoenix running at each other with the chainsaw battle. Yeah, like something like that. It might not be huge, it might be short, but we're going to see something because we think that they need to show something this year, because the longer this gap goes between the last Gears game and the next Gears game, them not showing footage would kind of hurt the franchise, because it's slowly, disregarding the people who are Gears fans like us who keep up to date, and probably you guys, the people who don't really keep up to date with what's going on with the franchise are going to slowly kind of start dropping out further and further of the loop. So right, we agreed that it's really important for them to show some footage, even if it's just a trailer, just to hype people up.
Yeah, just to hype people and remind that the franchise is there. Like, they've already kind of started doing that. I'm not sure if it was last year's E3 or the previous E3 where they showed, the Crimson Omen was in the closing credits.
Yeah,
like they reminded
last year.
They reminded you that Gears of War was, there.
And an upcoming thing, yes.
And like Gears of War 4 is confirmed. Because Black Tusk Studio is, well, it's not even confirmed because it could be the collection or Gears 4, but Gears of War is confirmed for Xbox One.
We're getting a new Gears game.
We're getting a new Gears game. It's just a matter of when. This year would be okay because, just kind of going back on what we said earlier, it would be okay because enough time has passed that it would be okay for a new game to come out. But then when it hits 2016, it's going to start being a bit too long. So the November 2016 would make absolute sense for Gears of War 1 Anniversary because it's the 10th anniversary of, obviously, when the first game came out.
Right.
And what that would do is it would be exactly in the line of what Halo did with the Master Chief Collection. And I've noticed over the years that Halo and Gears are like
the same system.
The same setup. Like the same thing happens for them every time on multiple levels, not just release dates and stuff like that, or release periods or whatever. But what that would do is it would remind people that Gears of War is there. It would remind old fans of why they enjoyed the series, and would introduce new fans to the series who may not have experienced Gears of War 1.
They have a chance to play through all the campaigns and like learn what happens.
Yep. And it would just like introduce fans to that gloomy kind of darkness that people really liked. Because it was different, not because people like darkness and gloomy stuff. It's just because Gears 1 was so aside from the colorful, like, I don't know what way to put it, like games that are just trying so hard to attract your attention with bright colors and stuff like that.
It's like grungy, grimy. Yeah, it's awesome.
What they could also do is what Gears of War has actually done in the past already. What they've done is they put the Gears of War 3 beta in Bulletstorm, and so they could do that with Gears 1 Anniversary, and that would like give people more of an incentive to buy the Anniversary Edition. And it was the exact same thing with the Halo the Master Chief Collection. They had the Halo 5 Guardians beta on there as well.
So here's another a cool point that you guys may not really think about. Now, we saw what happened with the Master Chief Collection this year, how they're 100 days after release. It's been 3.5 months and they're still having issues with the game. They can't get the matchmaking right. And the good thing that makes me hopeful about if there was a Marcus Phoenix collection is that Gears 1, Gears 2, and Gears 3, as far as I know, are all in the same engine.
Yeah, like they all work with each other now. I don't want to go too far into modding and stuff like that, but I know on Gears PC you can port Gears 3 models
into the game.
The older games. I know they all seem to be compatible with each other to a certain degree. So I don't see those engines clashing with each other maybe as much as the Master Chief Collection's
Right.
engines did. So it would be safe to do it, I imagine.
Yeah, Microsoft's got to feel a lot safer about doing that, knowing that the engines are the same. I think that was a huge issue, and I believe it's public knowledge now that that was a huge issue, and I actually predicted that early, because you got to think about it, right? Halo 2 is on an engine, then Halo 3 is on a different engine, as far as I know, because you got to remember Halo 2 was on Xbox, the original Xbox, and Halo 3 was on the next Xbox, and then it's just like you're putting that on another Xbox,
Yeah.
so you're just getting too many different engines clashed into one, and they just can't get the multiplayer right. Well, like we said, with the Gears games all being on the same engine, that makes it feel, to me and to Pete, more believable that this might happen. So, after looking into the whole collection thing, why the Master Chief Collection didn't really work out, this could be like redemption for Microsoft, maybe hoping that if they do another collection and it actually does really well and works from the get-go, that's going to be great, because like Pete said, it's going to bring people that maybe never tried the franchise into it, and they're essentially selling old games with updated graphics. So they're basically just going to take the games, I'm assuming, like we said, we think that they could make a Gears of War 1 remake, kind of remaster, where they put 60 FPS, 1080p, and maybe fix, add a couple different textures and make the game look different, and then maybe change the cover system and fix some little bugs that were in Gears
Do you
1.
think they'd do the Switch graphics thing? That'd be
They could. That would be weird.
It's not something I really want, because Gears 1 still looks great.
Oh yeah,
I
Gears
think.
1 looks amazing.
But that'd be another interesting aspect. I don't think they need to. I think as long as
Right.
the gameplay's similar and stuff like that.
Right. I think the cover system could be fixed a little bit and whatnot, but that would make sense. And then just take Gears 2 and Gears 3, throw it in the collection, and then just put it 1080p, 60 FPS, and boom, there you go. The game's in its own. That change, just the fact that you can play it on Xbone, I don't know why they wouldn't do that, because they're going to sell more Xbones that way, because people are going to want to play the collection, and it's going to lead up. So, in our opinion, if the Gears collection comes out this year, there's going to be next year where there's nothing. At least I don't think so. I don't think we'll get Gears 4. I'm almost positive that 2017 is the most reasonable time for the next Gears game to come out. And when I say next Gears game, I mean the newest Gears game that actually is getting built
Gears
from
4.
scratch. Gears 4. We say Gears 4. We don't know what it's called. It could be called anything.
Because I know Microsoft are trying to do this thing that's currently becoming a thing in the gaming industry, where they drop the number.
And then they
just
give it a
put
name. Yeah.
That's why Halo 5 isn't called Halo 5, it's called Halo 5 Guardians. So I'm assuming that Halo 6 will be called Halo something. It will
Halo
be called
6,
Halo
The
6.
Return or something, yeah. Anyways, so that's prediction number 1. So we would get a Gears collection, GAL 1 remake, 2 and 3 gets upgraded to 60 FPS, then nothing next year. Maybe, we would get trailers and stuff, obviously. Maybe a beta. Ooh, that
Beta on the disc.
that kind of changes, that changes everything, because would it make sense, since Gears of War 3 was so successful because it had a beta and it came out and it was perfect. Gears 3 was perfect when it came out. I mean, some may complain about the sawed off and the retro or stuff like that.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as major matchmaking bugs and stuff like that, dude, nothing.
Matchmaking's always been fine in Gears.
They could release... dude, I don't know. That's weird, because that would make sense. If a game came out this year, they would have next year for the beta, and then in 2017 they would have the game. But maybe there's too much of a gap in there. Anyways, let's go on to the second thing that we think is going to happen. We think that at E3, we're not only going to get a cinematic for the next Gears game, but we're also going to get a trailer for the collection or the Gears of War 1 anniversary. It would make more sense.
First, when the first thing they'd show would be the collection.
Right.
And then...
A teaser.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm trying to remember. At E3 one year, they put one of the Halo trailers at the very end of the conference.
We just watched that, yeah.
Blew everyone's. Yeah, we've been watching some of these, and I think it will be very similar to what Sony did with Uncharted 4. It had I think his name's Nathan Drake. Don't get me wrong. I'm not 100% sure what his name is. But he was you just saw a person laying down in the puddle, and then it come up and you saw Nathan Drake's face, and it just worked like that, like a cinematic CGI trailer that just gives people an idea of what the game is going to be. theme-wise and look-wise, and just kept people hyped and remind people that, you know, Gears of War is there. Like, it could show, like, Marcus in war against the Locusts for some reason. You might be wondering, what? The Locusts are dead, you know? Why is that happening?
And it kind of leaves like oh god, like now
Yeah.
I want to know what happens
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's obviously a possibility. The reason we kind of, and some of you may think, dude, there's not going to be a collection. It's just going to be Gears 4. Dude, I think there's going to be a collection or a Gears 1 anniversary. It would make sense to us more that the Gears anniversary comes out next year, because obviously it's the 10-year anniversary of Gears of War 1. And, you know, much like how we said, they usually, it's like Microsoft has like the same plans for Halo and Gears, you know, with 3 games, then they had a prequel, and then they got another company to continue the series. The same exact thing happened with Halo. It would make sense that they would have like a you know, like leading up into the year before the game comes out, they drop the collection so that people can get hyped about it and interested and kind of build up that hype going towards the next year. And so that would be the next prediction, obviously, would be that we get an anniversary version of Gears 1 next year. And this year, you know, we only see like the trailer and stuff and don't get a game. And then I guess, is that so? In our opinion, it's like 2 options, and then obviously there could be no collection or no anniversary at all.
Yeah.
That could very much well happen, and the reason I think that it's a possibility for that to happen is because I'm not too sure if Black Tusk is gonna want their first title to be someone else's work.
Yeah. And that's not us being
That's-
insulting.
yeah.
It's just like we feel like a studio has something to prove
When they're new,
When
yes.
they're new, like exactly like 343 was with Halo 4. Like that, they had something to prove that they could make a Halo game, and they did. There were some things people didn't like about it, but it was good. You know,
Halo was a solid. Yeah, Halo 4 is a solid game.
solid game. Like great campaign, great story, all that. It's just a matter of, I don't know, dude. It's just a matter of what it is. It's everything is such a mystery. Like none of us know anything. But you know, I feel like all of that's gonna change when E3 rolls around this year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely going to get some information at E3 this year. So be sure to check that out in June. You know, us Gears of War fans are definitely excited and very, very anxious to see what our future holds. Just because this is like such a question mark right now. Like it's just, it's so up in the air. We don't know if we're going to get a collection. We don't know if we're going to get, you know, Gears 1 remaster. We don't know if we're not getting any of that, and we might just get the next Gears game. So yeah, you got anything you want to wrap it up with, Pete?
Just
like anything in general?
personally, I'd be excited to see a cinematic. That's all I need to know. I just need to see that. I know that's what a lot of people need to see. They just need to be reassured that the series is there and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I need. Is just the cinematic trailer at E3 this year. That's what I mostly want to see. And if it's for the collection or Gears 4, it doesn't matter. Just as long as I know there's a game coming. Even though I do know, but just to see what it could potentially be is just what I want.
So would you rather see a beta on its own next year and have a game, the Gears remaster, come out this year, or would you rather have next year the anniversary come out with the beta for the following year? Because would you agree that
Well, I could see the Gears 1 anniversary coming out in November, the beta into December.
But there's no way.
No, yeah, that makes no sense either. Yeah, the beta
It's
for
not-
the beta for next year. That wasn't me thinking straight. I
Yeah.
was more thinking of along the lines of the Master Chief Collection. But yeah, I'd like to see Gears 1 anniversary next year. That would make sense.
Right.
And then
A beta with
a
it.
beta with it for the next year.
And then 2017,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense to us. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That just makes absolute sense.
And it's possible because you see how much Black Tusk is working with Gears 3 and stuff. Maybe that whole, you know, wanting it to be their work thing they don't really care about that. Maybe they just want what the fans
Give
want.
what the fans exactly. Exactly. There's no better way to put it, really.
Yeah. All right, guys. I've been Like Butter. This is the Razored Edge, and we're going to have a good time at the event this weekend. You're probably watching this during the weekend. I'll probably post this on Friday.
Or you're probably watching it, like, around E3, because you'd be searching what's going on.
Oh,
so,
that could, yeah, maybe you're watching this
Yeah.
6 months or 4 months down the road. 3 months, kind of. Actually, it's actually getting pretty close.
Yeah, I say this to everybody. I say that once January hits, everything starts flying because PAX comes up and all these European events and everything, like all these expos. E3 is gonna be here so quick.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
and
insane.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too.
All right, guys, let us know in the comment section below. We care about what you think as well. We'll be shuffling through a couple of comments when we're at the event, I'm sure, just kind of flipping through the phone before bed or something. And if you have anything like interesting to add, or maybe your predictions, leave them in the comment section.
Would you want to see what you'd like to see? Because that's something maybe we could show to the developers this weekend or whatever. But
yeah, some good suggestions. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. And like I said, Pete's link is in the description if you want to check out his channel. And we also do a podcast together as well called DBNO.
Yeah, that's something we should definitely get out there more.
Right.
DBNO podcast. The Twitter link will probably be in the description.
Yeah.
I'll make
it's
sure
what is it? Twitter.com/
DBNO podcast. It's all one word.
DBNO podcast. We're actually going to start doing more episodes. We've done one episode and it went really well. Like we got good. We got a lot of buzz in the Gears community.
Yeah, we've yet to figure out like what websites to host it on and stuff like that, but that's something we can easily figure out. If you guys know like good podcasting sites, be sure to let us know down below as well. That'd be a lot of help. A lot of help.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. I mean, we have a huge love for Gears of War. We like talking about it. Like, I like just having, we just have like good conversations. This video was just a last second thing. Like, yo, let's do this, because we were just having a casual conversation talking about it. So, yeah. Before I rant off anymore, it's 22 minutes in the video. I'll let you go now. Have a good night, guys.
Peace, guys.